get that screen, and the crew. The other side.
Yeah? Take me.
Yeah, out one.
So in the way.
Why? Have glass?
No, that's fine.
Why small one? Why
This is fine.
sure?
Yeah.
Okay, so again.
She must be outside.
Okay, I'm come together. Yeah, look off in
Okay, I was ready from around the side.
Yeah. So what have you done today? Come on, please. Give me a chance. Come on, please. Come on. I beg you. Okay, how long is it gonna be? How long? Bring something. I'll be here. I've seen her now, because I've seen her walk in. I said, Renee, she look. She
And then she come back with another name and go to Garrett. And then every time she'd say his name, she'd go,
Come on, what are you doing? What are you doing? Come on, what about okay, what about the what about the boat from South to oh yeah.
Me too, because then I'll get 10%.
What if I come there and see what? Come on, you want that, you always like that. Okay.
I don't know any bad music. We don't have those radios. What radio is it now? No, it's only on Wednesday. And already asked them. We go to Stardust. Starts at 2 p.m. on Saturday.
There's a big party just starting. We're going there for 2 p.m. Saturday until 10 a.m. Sunday morning. Then we're going to
Mill Beach. We've already paid $53 for a ticket.
They did on the decks now, and then they're gone to dump it.
Well, at one stage I was there for a week or 2 weeks.
There's no development by the river now.
You don't want to be on camera, you want to be stars.
I like this Montana, it's beautiful.
I nearly bought the 120, I bought my NX300 instead. So much extra I paid. But I mean,
Samara, say cheers. Cheers!
Are you up? Where are you?
Sorry.
I guess. Oh, great. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, good idea, yeah? On the firewire?
actually seen it through her. Probably. She likes all of this. Did you film it? No, she filmed it though. This girl's really hard.
this is like a $3,500 piece of equipment, just because it has an in-trib interface on it. It's one of the first audio electronic music sort of creation devices that integrated digital audio sampling and MIDI into wind them. So like you can just be cruising along and go, wish I could get that sample my friend made the other day or something, and then you can just drop it in there with this cards. You can put 128 megabytes of stuff on there, put video on it too. And then just drop it in real time. You don't have to hit stop and go edit. You just drop it in, and then it's got this wicked loop remix function. You go on there, you still don't have to. And yeah, it's like a manual function. You just go in and it just goes through all these presets it has. And so like say it's like a loop, and then you just hit like preset 5 or so you get really cool shit happening there and then on the spot. And that loop is for like if you slice that, like slice technology is basically where you get a loop and you tell the machine to section out every either beat, single, flat, it knows where they are. And so it's like kind of revolutionary. It's only just happened in the last few years. So if you don't want the symbols in that loop, you don't have to go back to your PC and go into SoundForge and edit them out or whatever. You can just go out and piss them off. And that's sending that MIDI data to the rest of the video viewers as well. So, but like I said before, it's too much. It just crashes. So you've got to get that worked out. Next time.
I think the main difference for so-called live video from a computer or video from a videotape is frame rate difference. Videotape is stuck at 25 frames a second. With a computer you can go up to as many frames a second as you like. A computer hard drive is not dedicated to 25 frames a second. A computer hard drive can handle as much trigger signal used into it. Therefore, you know,
The animal is not. Captain says it. On the animal. The animal is not. Life with a chance at life, gave him a second chance at life, gave him a second dog or cat, he's dog or cat 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 or cat. Family's dog or please dog or please dog your family's dog or please dog or
So it's a bit un-Australian of me, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's just a linear light projecting onto smoke. Smoke actually looks like it has a shape. But it's only linear, it's only line.
Yeah, it's only one direction.
So, but they're doing amazing things with light. I mean, light is, it used to be the Techno studio, it used to be uncatchable or whatever, and then someone refracted the prism and turned into a rainbow. And now they've got fibre optic cables, so they can bend light around the corner. And now they're working with gases that work with lasers to bend light, different gas densities. And so there's a lot of people working on the technology at the moment.
And they might,
And us as artists will, go through the dustbin of these sites and come up with, I'm sure, all kinds of wonderful treasures that are overlooked by people who are just trying to have a really linear goal, like they want a communications technology that they can make money from, or they want a standard entertainment technology, and hopefully we can see perhaps something which will add to human culture.
And then my team is doing stuff like holographic television.
Disney are making their first
Right
feature.
now.
It's been a long time.
Okay, it's $29.95 for membership.
So you get a t-shirt.
That's right, you get a t-shirt. But I think that we'll look back at these days like the old steam car race in 1911 where we all got up to 14 miles an hour.
At 4x3.
Yeah. And it will be the fastest a human being has ever gone. Faster than a horse.
4x3.
It's but I think it's very early days. Like I don't think I've really had like an immersive situation. Just from maybe 10 hours like this. Not a group immersive experience. I think the immersive experiences people have these days are pretty much isolated and scientific, rather than some kind of
It depends on the sound system.
yeah,
Sometimes the sound system it's so bright you can feel the sound like coming at you.
I think
You need to.
considering it kind of like 20 years ago, you'd go, let's go back 40 years ago, you'd go out and you'd go dancing, and you'd talk to people, you'd But now you go dancing, you have to look at anyone. Hi, how are you? What? You know, how's your eat? Oh, fantastic. How's yours? Fantastic. Bye. Great. So there's a lot of information you can ask in this little community. So
that also depends on the environments that are set up. Like if you have chill spaces, which never used to be in a dance party, you know, that's where you go to chill, and then you demonstrate, you sit down, whatever. And then you go to the other bit where you just say, oh, people, you know.
And I think people on the dance floor are quite in an immersed state. I mean, people really are on the dance floor going for it. They're immersed in the sound, and if you can also visually immerse them, but they are definitely immersed in the sound.
I think that the social aspects of entertainment have been subsumed by watching and listening. People have this passive TV watching music, screen-based way of entertaining themselves, which doesn't involve them. They can be there or not, and the entertainment continues nonetheless.
Yeah, you've got the option.
So it's not like going to a bar and dance where, you know, if you're not there, someone must have a cut.
Playing postmodernism.
Or being in a musical band where if you're not there, there'll be no drums.
I guess more than ever, we have control over the space. You know, there aren't rules about that, and it's good to experiment. But I mean, the graphics, definitely graphics in terms of the stuff like you've got on the screen now. It's people have been exploring for years in terms of what effect now does that have on that space, and now we have the ability to shine these things on the walls, you know, and really create whole new spaces. It's very different though to say showing particular images where you've got people, and the juxtaposition of them can be really messy but can really work, and that's the hard job, I think. So graphics define the space because the lines are going this direction, that direction. It's pretty clear cut. That's what graphics are all about. Visual communication. This is the sim. This is the stop sign. This is the slow sign. This is the, you know, you give someone a stop sign, but you flash it up 15 times while the music's going. I mean, that's how you create those effects immediately. And you know, pictures of Akuda and stuff are completely different in a way. They're coming from a different angle. They're like, I know what that image is, but where am I hearing it? And it's that mixing together that's the jam.
It's like a recontextualisation of previously absorbed.
But it's. I just think it's really hard. We need to be as on top of it as we can. You know, what is every one of these clips doing? What's the combo of a multicultural image with a line-based image? You know? And how can I be different from what the computer's just spraying out?
Excuse me, I was wondering if I could make a small comment from this table over here.
Please do.
Please, be my guest.
I was looking at your images and I was quite stunned. I really liked it for the most set, but then thinking about it, I was trying to think what things did I not like about it. I really like the combinations of images, but something I've been thinking a lot about visuals generally and applies to a lot of people is just the density of the images over a period of time, so that I think your set would have been a lot stronger if it was more sort of choreographed, or if you had maybe dense at the start, then not so dense, then dense, rather than sort of fairly dense for all of the time. And composition-wise, like there's stuff happening all of the screen for all of the time. And if that sort of changed over time, it would give it more a sense of dynamics. The music is sort of not very, or it's not. It was sort of very repetitive, I guess, and so it goes with to keep visual interest. I think you need time, or you can just turn around. It's a different set of images, but because it's the same density, your brain just goes, oh, it's more the same. It becomes wallpaper or mushy a bit, but at times it was sort of slow, and then it got quite fast with lots of overlays or the exposed sort of stuff. But I don't know, like the sort of rhythms that you can explore in drum and bass. Like I think visually you can have a bit of pacing like that.
In the second part.
This
bit.
really works.
Yeah, the first mix was.
It was pretty good random set with no real planning or organisation. So in that way, it's the perfect performance where you just have to. You walk into the bar and someone hands you a guitar and says, "Say Johnny, give us a song," and you go, "Oh, "Okay." Yeah. So it's called Blue Suede Shoes. So it had that kind of vibe to it, but I agree with you. It should be. It doesn't have to be quite passive. It's like What about I saw an interview on Channel V with, what's that band? Linkin Park. And they said that their sound's heavy because they have quiet parts.
Yeah.
And that's
They have quiet.
They have quiet bits, and they said if it wasn't for the quiet bits, it's so heavy.
Yeah.
And I thought,
Yeah, but that applies for everything, yeah, for color as well.
Yeah.
Color bits get more colorful if there's not color bits. So yeah, that applies for a lot of things.
you have to have relationships between things, and so you're building relationships between elements, which is the same if you're a painter or if you're a musician or if you're I don't know if you're an ice skater.
Classical musicians are probably the like classical, like Beethoven and stuff. That's all good and evil stuff. Like it's all particular chords. It's all about like that Western thing of like ba 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 da 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 da. Like it's all good, bad, dark and white. Have a look if you look at sort of Japanese art and decoration, that's a different set of sort of rules or agendas and stuff. There's like all these other sorts of things going on, empty spaces and full spaces, and everything's full and everything's empty. I couldn't even. It's not like a study. Like there's just rules for and things that people apply. Negative space, exactly. It's stuff like that. But there's a whole history of Western ways of going about things. It's soft now, so it's loud now, so we can have an interplay between those two things. But there's also other cultures that deal with it in different ways, and it's obvious in the way that they produce artwork and sound and stuff.
Yeah, negative space is very important.
There's not a lot there on the screen.
Why? Take it down.
Yeah, I'd probably deal with that on the show because it's more on the screen of elevation.
Yeah.
Choreographed, two skaters that spin.
You gotta practice that.
Yeah, I think we're bronze. More bronze medal. Definitely in contention. Yeah, we didn't fall.
We went rally car driving just then.
Actually, I like the floor technique.
Yeah,
like everybody has their different stance. Like heels,
Knees are good.
Knees are good on carpet, but otherwise you need foam knee pads, gardening pads.
But it's interesting though, working with two people or you're a solo performer. Kirsten works by herself. I don't know how she can for all those long hours. I need someone to talk to or interaction, verbal, mental interaction.
What's the technique where it morphs and then changes into something else? Is that like...
That's a PC plug-in.
That's a program. It's a shareware PC program called Rundle. 361K, download, search for it, Rundle.
Version of the Mac as well.
I had a few hours I couldn't
There's
work.
Elastic Reality, which is one that you have to go through a little bit of trouble to pirate. There's some other one.
I use Elastic Reality, I reckon it's good at doing video and a lot of times stuff like that.
Does Winmore have points?
Sorry?
Got points and stuff?
Winmore's all points, and it's also really fast. You can set up a more for 100 pages, which is good if you're a busy executive like spend on Winmore.
Does it come with a tiger?
Sorry? All images are from Google Image Search, which I reckon is actually very good. And it's wild. Google Image Search is fantastic. There's so many images. I think I downloaded 2,500 images. At work.
Yeah.
I love it. Busy. But the best ones actually, if you want to be grabbing images off the net, get some kind of batch one, and you can go to an image site and download every JPEG on some. That's the way to do it on broadband. I'll take advantage of that with broadband and it's 56K loaded to good. Any more questions, or is this a wrap?
Thanks, guys.
So you're gonna keep doing stuff?
No, this is it.
That's it. After that feedback.
I'm going back to music.
Hey, you didn't actually explain that when you was coming. You get
I am
into
back to
it
music.
yourselves as well, don't you? So just audio just to the time.
Well, if we had a little bit more time this morning, I wanted to set up an audio patch to just run all the effects and all the effect levels.
Traditionally been VHS tapes and the last year and a half or so laptop, but I'm heading overseas in about 2 months or so, and I want to pack everything up into a very small space as possible, so I just transferred to using a DV cam, and so I don't need that thing, that's just going line straight into that. I've also just changed to using a new piece of software called Visual Jockey, which the latest version of conveniently doesn't work. Any of the previous patches which I've created for version 2 there's a laborious process to convert them over to version 3, so I've thrown away practically my entire body of work in the last few weeks. So this is a collection of, it's a DV tape, 30 minutes worth of stuff which I just found last night off a couple of old tapes, mostly with feedback stuff, which is that will go into feedback stuff for about 15 minutes or so. Then I've just done a little bit out of previous pieces and things like that, and I'm mixing over the top of that Visual Jockey, which is kind of a bit like, it's not so complicated and it hasn't got the power of what NATO or JMax or PD Gem have, but it's I think a little more accessible for me. I tried using Gem and found that it was just so hard to get anything, and then when I did get things I did get, I couldn't build complicated enough because it wasn't a supportive user base. This software is written by a couple of 4 or 5 Eastern European guys who are from the demo scene, so they're very much into 3D graphics, stuff like that, but they're in the process of creating their tool which they want to use to create live demos. Everyone know what demos are? They're like little PC applications which are designed to show off the video capabilities of the computer. These guys have tried to make this software capable of doing demos in real time. So the beautiful thing is about it, the whole bit of software, which is very, very, very complicated, is only a couple of meg. It does, everything is real-time interactive, just like NATO or Max. You can map any variable to any controller, whether it be MIDI or mouse or keyboard. And you can create big tree structures. So I'll show you that at the end, I'll show you the interface a little bit. I basically built these patches over the last couple of days. In version 2 I had about 200, 250 patches, which I moved between. I could jump to a patch, instantly to a patch. At the moment I've probably about 20, and most of those are pretty simple because I've built them last night. But, might as well give it a go and see what happens.
Yay!